Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Live with Virginia NORML. I'm J.M. Padini, the Development Director for the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws and the Executive Director of your state chapter, Virginia NORML. It's Friday, July 29th, 2022, and as always, we're going to talk all things cannabis in the Commonwealth and answer your burning questions live. I hope that you're having better weather wherever you are than we are here in Richmond, where it's full of tornadoes and rain. Hey, Ryan. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Carrie. Good to see you, friends. Since we're seeing Medical Wellness Center of Virginia here in the chat with us now, let's go ahead and talk about what's new and exciting in medical cannabis in Virginia, because that's really the big news for the week. This week, the newest dispensary in Northern Virginia opened. Beyond Hello opened their Alexandria store. It is at 5902 Richmond Highway in Alexandria, and they're serving patients now. You can find a complete listing of all Virginia dispensaries on the Virginia NORML website at vanorml.org/dispensaries. There you go. And more good news, G-Leaf is going to open in November, the first medical cannabis dispensary in Chesterfield. They're going to open in Midlothian. That's at 11601 Midlothian Turnpike. Ben, remind me what that used to be. Drop that in the script. It was some other buying an existing building, which is great. I can't remember what it used to be, though. It was like a Radio Shack or something. Hey, Keisha. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Amy and Alan. Good to see you both here. Hello, Kwame. Hello, Daniel and Robin and Jeff. Jeff says the crops need rain. Well, we've got plenty of that here in Richmond for you if you want it. Look, free water is free water, right? Oh, Daniel, you'd like to see a Bristol one again from Rise? You know, I think the one in Abingdon is like 3 miles down the road from Bristol. Isn't that true? I went to the grand opening of the Bristol location since it was the first one in the entire state to open, but I have not yet been to Abingdon. But I'm hoping we get out to the outside of the state during our Know Your Rights tour. In fact, the first stop on that tour is tomorrow in Herndon. So we will be doing, let's just go ahead and reject that call and wonder why it's calling in the middle. Stop calling. All right, so back to the show we're doing together, friends. We are doing the Know Your Rights Cannabis in the Commonwealth event tomorrow, Saturday, July 30th in Herndon at Sully's Poorhouse. Now, I'll be there, Ben will be there, but so will Fairfax Commonwealth's attorney Steve Descano. He's going to join me for this conversation on knowing your rights. So we'll talk about personal possession, personal cultivation, transportation, expungement, and record sealing. Bring all of your burning questions live and in person, and we'll chat about them. Of course, we'll also have lots of awesome NORML merch available for you there as well. And thanks to Sully's for hosting a happy hour immediately following the event. So can't wait to see you all there tomorrow. You can RSVP for that. I see that Ben already dropped those links in the chat for you right now. I mean, don't leave. Just do it afterward. Don't forget. It's on Facebook too. So invite your friends. Good news in Indiana. Too much rain in Southwest, huh, Amy? Ew, that's flat. Hey, MD, good to see you. I saw your whole conversation with Amy about the pin. Look, we have more. We still have more. I ordered a ton uh, once they started flying off the shelves. So we're ready. We're ready for you. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. How can you get a JT? How can you get a physical letter to Biden? Probably in the mail. So I'm gonna go with. I'm not a specialist on delivering physical mail to the president of the United States, but I bet it's on his website. Just gonna guess. Oh, hey, Donald in South Carolina. Yeah, yeah. So, Donald, first of all, I hope you are connected with Normal in South Carolina, first and foremost. Um, Scott is down there and he's doing amazing things. So make sure you connect with South Carolina Normal. But look, if we can do it in Virginia, you can do it there as well. And Scott knows this and he's working in that direction. And listen, I think it's lost on people how important it can be to be willing to take incremental progress. We have legal adult use in Virginia today because in 2015 we were willing to move forward with a very small bill, a bill that really just allowed a very narrow use of a very specific type of medical cannabis for a very small subset of patients. And it didn't even make it legal, it just gave them an affirmative defense. But because we were willing to fight for that, for affirmative defense, for intractable epilepsy, for CBD, then we were able to just continue pushing forward and expanding that and expanding that and expanding that. So there's a lot of noise out there, and you'll see a lot of activists who are demanding everything, and when they don't get it, they're trying to burn the world down and taking their ball and going home. And that's where you get nowhere fast. I'm not saying that incremental progress is what we should settle for. I'm saying it is a viable path forward and a strategy that works, particularly in southern states and conservative states. So use whatever is available, my friend. Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Oh, show everyone what you're talking about. Okay, so Daniel says that there's a cannabis restaurant opening in Tennessee. Um, and that there's no legal cannabis in Tennessee, but this restaurant is purporting that there is a loophole for edibles. So, wow, that's fascinating, Daniel. Um, ew, that's what I have to say about that. Ew is what I had to say about weird, unregulated products that take advantage of consumers. Gross. Rob. Funny. Um, okay, I no, I have not seen it, Daniel. Feel free to send us a link to that. We won't be going, but that'll be interesting to look at. Neat. Hey, speaking of things that we are going to, like the Know Your Rights event tomorrow in Herndon, we'll also be at MJ BizCon, specifically at Associations Day, which is the first day of the big expo. You, friends, you can save 10% off any MJ BizCon pass when you use the code and the link that Ben is about. Cassidy. It looks purple, so maybe it's Cassidy. That Ben and Cassidy are about to drop in the chat for you now. You have to use that link. You have to use that code. But code AD22NORML will save you 10% off any MJ BizCon pass. And You'll get to meet this guy in person in Vegas. Won't that be fun? Probably. Jeremy, how can you get a table? Oh, at the weird restaurant in Tennessee or at MJ BizCon, because both of those things are probably possible. Hey, Andrew. Andrew has a great question. Andrew asked, are there new laws that took effect on July 1st of this year relating to personal cultivation in Virginia? Yes, Andrew. Yes, there are. And these laws are good ones. We had a bunch of new cannabis laws take effect on July 1st. Not all of them good, but in this respect, yes. So previously in the code section for personal cultivation, there were no penalties specified for if you, let's say, failed to properly tag your plant or prevent access by those under 21, or if it was visible from a public way. There's no specified penalty. And the problem with that is that when there is no specified penalty, the default is a class 6 felony. That's bad. Now, as of July 1, there is a specified penalty, and it's only a $25 civil penalty. That's a fine that doesn't have any criminal record attached to it. Now, we did offer 2 recommendations. One, just get rid of this weird stuff from code and not worry about it, because who's policing people's plants that they're growing for personal use? They didn't like that suggestion, so they went with the second one, which was it should be no more than a $25 civil penalty. And that's what they've settled on. And again, to that I say, who's policing people's plants? But probably someone somewhere has time to kill and is doing weird stuff like that. So make sure you properly tag your plants, prevent unauthorized access by those under 21, and if you're cultivating outdoors, it may not be visible from a public way. This means like the alley or the street or the sidewalk. That doesn't mean your neighbor's backyard. Hey, James. Thanks for bringing this up. So we keep getting this question a lot. When do we think prices at the dispensary will drop? We're hearing people say that there ought to be legislation to control prices. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen, and it's likely not legal. But will the prices at dispensaries go down? Yes, James, they absolutely will. And in fact, they already are going down. So that's good news for consumers. What happens in particular is that the products in Virginia, all of our dispensaries are, at the end of the day, technically pharmacies, and they're regulated by Board of Pharmacy. And so there's an expiration date on all of the products. And as it gets close to the expiration date, then you're going to see prices drop so they can get rid of these products. Now, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, but because of the way the program is, there's this required expiration date. It's probably not entirely relevant to those products, whether or not they're still going to be effective. But you do see prices go down as those expiration dates approach. So that's good. Also, James, we're seeing more dispensaries open. We're seeing processors secure their additional retail locations. They, in addition to their facility where they cultivate, extract, process, do all of that stuff, and dispense, they're also allowed to have 5 retail-only locations in their health service area. And we are seeing more processors build out those additional retail locations, specifically Beyond Hello opened their 3rd store this week, and G-Leaf announced their 4th store location. They have 2 that are open. Short Pump and Manchester are open in the Richmond area. Then they have Carytown under construction, and they've just announced that they have Midlothian underway as well. You can find complete details for where all of these dispensaries are located on the Virginia NORML website. You're welcome, Andrew. Brent, I had to turn my head and read that question. Someone in Mount Solon, I don't know where that is, but thanks for educating me on Virginia geography, got hit with a flyover bust. And you go on to say, Brent, that the individual had a good bit more than the legal amount allowed growing in their backyard. Yeah, look, friends, make good choices. Make good choices. So while personal cultivation, that means cultivation for personal use, is legal in Virginia, manufacturing is not. And that's what cultivation is when you are not cultivating for personal use. So make good choices. Oh, great. Look at that. There's a perfect example. Thank you, Brent, of what we were talking about. Rise in Lynchburg had a sale. We see, G Leaf puts out messaging all the time on their sales, and you can get some good prices on products now. Oh, MD, I wish I saw the conversation before that. I think I missed something. Oh, okay. MD, you were in New York a week ago. And you saw, oh, I was going to put that up there so people can read it. MD was in New York and in Virginia talking with friends and about cannabis products and people consuming products when they have no idea what's in them. I actually had a friend I was talking to the other day at an event, and they said they had had a Delta 8 product, and I was like, do you know how that's made? And they said, no, please don't tell me. So that's terrifying. Yeah, like, man, how novel of a concept. How radical is it to say that people deserve to know what they're buying and putting in their bodies? Oof. Mm. Yep, we're gonna share the rest of your comments here, MD. Saying that one friend uh, had hallucinations and vomiting from the unregulated products that they ate. Yeah, that's what happens. Gross. Hey, Michael, let's read your question. Does the Board of Pharmacy control the number of store locations, or is it code driven? It's a great question, Michael, and it is code. Code is what allows either Board of Pharmacy to promulgate regulations for the medical program or for the Cannabis Control Authority to promulgate regulations for eventually the medical program and adult use. We have to first pass laws, code that make these things possible. And so what we have in Virginia, first what we had was the allowance for one single processor per health service area. And after that happened, then we were able to get for these existing operators an additional 5 retail locations, each in their own health service area. So that makes for a total possible 6 dispensaries in each health service area. Of course, HSA 1 is still hung up in a lawsuit, and there's nothing at all there. But it is because of code that it's code that determines the number of locations that are possible in each HSA. Now, in 2023, the next legislative session, we could and really should have a legislative proposal to move away from this limited licensure vertical integration requirement in the medical program, and at least move forward with licensing some more retail locations. This would be possible because medical moves over to CCA July 1, 2023. And so it's under CCA that we'll be able to do additional licensing. The program's currently under Board of Pharmacy, and we just can't do additional licensing right there. Again, this lawsuit's still going on. And so once everything moves over to a state agency that is specific to cannabis, we'll be in a much better situation to move forward with licensing additional businesses. And that's likely at this point in time the only real path forward. It's still going to be hard, but that's really the only potential path forward in the 2023 session. If you're looking to expand retail access for Virginians, there's not a path forward for adult use in 23 at this time. Full stop. There's just not. Virginians elected a Republican-controlled House of Delegates, and they have no interest in advancing this legislation at this point. So medical expansion, I mean, that's even a big reach under this Republican House. So just doing what we can with what you gave us. Just gonna put that up there. Thanks, Keisha. How does this have anything to do about Kansans? I don't know, James. This doesn't have anything to do with Kansas because it's live with Virginia NORML. But my colleague Jax does a show before mine on Fridays. She talks about all the states because she's NORML's state policies manager. So check that out. Oh, Rick, that's so great to hear. I'm glad that you got your medical certification from someone that helps support our work here at Virginia NORML. And I'm super happy to hear that they were nice and that it was an easy process. You're welcome for that resource. You know, MD, since you're bringing up these Delta 8 products, it's not really that it's Delta 8, it's that it's unregulated products and the adverse effects. I don't know how anyone could miss the number of news articles that are out there right now specific to Virginia about the increase in calls to Poison Control Center for related to Delta 8 is how they explain it at Poison Control. They call them Delta 8 products. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of scary. Hey, James, you're welcome. Any ideas how it will work at the pharmacies when sales is passed? Well, we already have a medical program that's functional, and so they're dispensaries. They just happen to be regulated by Board of Pharmacy at this time. So technically they are pharmacies, but they're actually dispensaries. All they do is cannabis. If I'm not answering your question, lob it at me again. Hey, Jeremy, you're welcome with your bionutrient company. Hey, shoot us an email. info@virginianormal.org. Hey, Dennis. Dennis wants to know if a person on pain management would be able to participate in Virginia's medical cannabis program, and the answer is yes. In fact, Dennis, you can look at the spreadsheet that we maintain on our website that lists all of the registered practitioners and what their specialties are, and you will see, in fact, that there are pain management providers who participate in the medical cannabis program. Now, if you're already in pain management, you might talk to your provider to see what their requirements or restrictions are for their practice. But there are a number of pain management providers out there that also do medical cannabis certifications. Call me. Okay, first of all, right, so there was, gosh, seems like it was 100 years ago already, but it wasn't. It was mere days. There was a congressional hearing this week, and on cannabis. And you're not wrong. Wow, Tom Cotton said some really, really crazy, crazy stuff. We were wondering why this one sci-fi novelist COVID quack was testifying before Congress, but now we know why. Tom Cotton. So please, and I'm sure Cassidy or Ben could go grab a link to the NORML Twitter thread for the hearing. This is delightful because they said some crazy stuff. And I thought Cory Booker made some smooth yet snarky asides with subtle jabs. That was fun. Yeah, listen, we have a bingo game that we play during congressional hearings on marijuana. And the center square, the free space, is any mention of marijuana. And literally everything else is something else. Because as you know, if you've ever watched one, they will talk about literally anything but cannabis. Huh. All right, what else is happening? Hey, if you are watching from another state and you want to catch up on what is happening with marijuana-related ballot initiatives and referenda around the country, you can check out the blog by my colleague Jax James that publishes every Friday and gives you a rundown on what's happening around the country with ballot initiatives and voter referenda. And we are keeping NORML elections central up to date for you all, so you can track everything that's happening there as well. Make sure you're registered to vote and know how to cast your ballot when you check Smoke the Vote, NORML's voter guide to legalizing marijuana in your state, before you head to the ballot box. Speaking of elections, friends, we're going to host a fundraiser for congressional candidate Herb Jones here in Richmond. Herb has been a member of the Virginia NORML Board of Directors for many, many years. He's running for Congress against crazy Rob Whitman, who votes against all things cannabis anytime he gets a chance. So if you're in the area, chances are you'll get an invitation to the fundraiser for Herb Jones. You can also check out his campaign page and help support him. He's been helping support you for years now, putting in the work here at Virginia NORML. Let's try to get him to Congress as well. Oh, Rick, that is fantastic. Rick chose a medical cannabis practitioner that is veteran owned and has a veterans discount, and your certification was only $22. That's fantastic, Rick. So glad to hear that good people are doing good work for good folks like you and helping you get access to Virginia's medical cannabis program. You know, friends, there is no requirement for registration in Virginia's medical cannabis program any longer, unless, of course, you are acting as a registered agent for a patient, then you still have to register. But once a patient gets their written certification, that's the end of the requirement. That's all you need is your state-issued ID and your written certification that's valid from a registered practitioner here at Virginia Medical Cannabis Dispensaries. You still have the ability to register and get the physical card. The physical card itself is no longer required in Virginia. And we did have the space for a patient identification number added to the written certification form. This number would be your driver's license or state issued ID number, because in the District of Columbia, a state that territory that does offer reciprocity to Virginia medical cannabis patients, they require a patient ID number for their system. And our hope is that ABRA will simply, that's their regulator, will accept the ID number when it's put in there by the practitioner. So we'll see. Hey, Ronson, I'm sorry that you're late, but I'm glad that you're here. And I think, like, I mean, gosh, we're almost done, but I'm glad you're here now, friend. Oh, hey, guess what? since Ronson's here, and there's 25 minutes left to enter our giveaway. Oh gosh, I can't reach it from here. To enter our giveaway on Instagram, on NORML's Instagram. I'm looking over there to see where it is. See if I can, should I go get it real quick? I'll go get it real quick. Here we go. Everyone enjoyed watching me bend over and reach into a bin. So I'm going to hold it this way so that I don't violate any terms of use on Facebook. But we do have a giveaway on Instagram, on NORML's Instagram right now. It was National Vanilla Ice Cream and National Sprinkle Day on the same day. So we went ahead and put this giveaway up on NORML's Instagram. Go over there and check it out. You can learn more about what this silicone ice cream is and how you can enter to win it. And when you enter the giveaway to win this silicone novelty shaped like an ice cream cone, you can also check the box to make sure that you are subscribed to NORML's Weekend Weed Read. I know you're already getting our newsletter on Thursdays. It is very thorough and tells you all the things you need to know for the week. But we have a digest version that comes out Saturday mornings, and you can subscribe to that. It's called NORML's Weekend Weed Read. It's short, it's fun, it's pithy. It's by yours truly, and I can't wait for you to subscribe. So make sure you check that box when you enter to win this. You know what it is. Open to those 21 and older. Oh, David, you're moving to Virginia? Welcome. Welcome to Virginia. Make sure you join Virginia NORML. Hey, also, just this week, I added a new pin to the NORML store. Do I have one right here next to me? No, I don't, because I got everything ready for Know Your Rights, so everything is all packed up. Wait, here it is. A lot of reaching happening in today's show. All right, now this is already packed up for Know Your Rights, but this is the NORML Icon lapel pin. It's magnetic, so it's not going to damage your suit. And it looks super awesome. It's a shiny silver, but this bag that's in is kind of frosted, so it looks matte. But these are now available in the NORML web store. That's at store.norml.org. You can get these now. They just went live yesterday, I think. And you weren't able to get these before unless you saw us in person, and now you are. So listen, get your stuff from the NORML web store. Yeah, and I really hope to see a bunch of you tomorrow in Herndon, 3 p.m., Sully's Poorhouse. Myself, Fairfax Commonwealth's attorney Steve Toscano will be having a conversation about knowing your rights as it relates to cannabis in Virginia. Oh, thank you, Ben, or Cassidy, whoever wrote that. G-Leaf is moving into a former T-Mobile store in Midlothian. I knew it was something technological related. Ooh, 2 questions. Fonz wants to know, when do we start working hard on next year's legislative initiatives? Right now. Right now. All the time. It never ends, Fonz. Listen, it's not going to be easy because that Republican-controlled House of Delegates has no place for an adult use bill to succeed at this time. But we will have an action alert up soon targeting Speaker of the House, Speaker Gilbert, encouraging him to move forward, at least with allowing the Cannabis Control Authority to promulgate regulations related to adult use. So hopefully sooner rather than later, Virginians have access to products that are safe, convenient, and affordable, and not sold to you by organized crime. We'll have other things as well, but we're gonna put a big generic action alert up there first. Hey Jake. Jake wants to know, what can I do to become an advocate for cannabis? Well, Jake, I'm so glad you asked. Of course, you're going to want to get something for you right now, my friend. Of course, you're going to want to make sure you are a member of NORML. Hey, whoever is in the script with me, I'm dropping this link right in here for you to grab for Jake. You're going to want to make sure you are subscribed to NORML, that you're reading what we put out, that you are using our action alerts, that you are a member. Hopefully you're a member at Virginia NORML as well, but please be a member of not only NORML, but of whatever local chapter is wherever you are. And then if you really want to get a firm grip on how to be an effective advocate, I strongly recommend the NORML Advocacy Certificate that we produced in conjunction with Green Flower Media. I can see that someone, Ben or Cassidy, just dropped the link to get, I think it went in, like too many things went in there. Put it in again. To get the advocacy certificate. It's an online course. You can do it in your own time from wherever you are. Tons of good content. And I actually did an interview with someone, which I thought was interesting, about this certificate last week. And they wanted to know if we wrote the content. Of course we did. And they wanted to know if it works. And I said, well, yes, that's why it's in this certificate course. This is the exact process that we use here in Virginia, that my colleague Jax uses in Texas, that my colleague Paul uses in the media. These are tried and true practices that we've honed over 52 years at NORML, and we're pretty effective at changing public policy when it comes to cannabis. So highly recommend the NORML Cannabis Advocacy Certificate that we did with our friends at Green Flower Media. You can find that on the NORML website in the link that is right there. Otherwise, it's just norml.org/certificate. Awesome. All right, friends. Well, this has been a blast. So much fun. So much fun. Just going to put that up there. That we should do it again next week. Hey, I really hope to see all of you in Herndon tomorrow. And oh, hey, David. Are you still able to grow 4 plants per household, David? In Virginia, it's 4 plants per household. That's under adult use law. Medical has nothing to do with it. 4 plants per household. You can find all the details relating to that on the Virginia NORML website. Just click on the legalization tab and go to the frequently asked questions. We'll have those frequently asked questions one-pagers with us tomorrow in Herndon at the Know Your Rights event with Fairfax Commonwealth's attorney Steve Toscano and myself. Hope to see you all there. And at the very least, I hope to see you all back here next week for another episode of Live with Virginia NORML. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you are, wherever you're watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.